Shalom, brothers. We're going to pick up where we left off. The brother left off reading at Revelation chapter 16 and verse 12. So you're going to read that one more time and we can proceed, okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 16 verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
Right, the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So the reason why I went there was basically using this to show you, as a matter of fact, you're going to keep on reading down, to show you that this is the, in other words, Revelation chapter 9. When we got to what verse was it that we got to Revelation chapter 9? Was it verse 15 or 14, right?
Verse 15.
It was verse 15 that mentioned the great river Euphrates.
Yeah.
Check it.
No, verse 14 mentions river Euphrates.
Oh, okay. That's what the point I'm trying to show is that from verses 11, 12, you know, where it says, in verse 12, where it says, where Revelation 9 says, the first woe is past, behold, there come two woes. In other words, it's actually jumping now. It's skipping the second woe, and in other words, the Second World War, and it's going into the dynamic that we're in now, that's leading us to the Third World War. And I'm going to prove it because it said in Revelation chapter 9 and verse 13 and 14, it said the great river Euphrates, right? Okay, now we're in Revelation chapter 16 and verse what?
Verse 13.
13, and it's going to tell you, before you get to verse, by the time that you get to verse 17, it's going to let you know that the whole dynamic was about what? It was about getting these armies to a place called Armageddon, remember? So go ahead and read verse 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Revelation 16 and verse 13.
Go on and pick it up from 12 again, alright?
Okay, verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates.
Now, the great river Euphrates, let's do that. Let's go to the map again. Rosh, want to give them a rehash. The great river Euphrates, feeding out of the Persian Gulf, running through northward through the whole country of Iraq. This is the area where the Most High is drawing all kings. I'm going to show you. Read on down.
Verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates.
Iraq, Euphrates, go ahead.
And the water thereof was dried up.
Now when it says dried up, it's not saying that they physically lost water or were dried up. It's letting you know that the circumstances and the conditions that are leading all armies of the world to that region are being made right now. Go ahead.
That the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
Now when it said the way of the king of the east, I'm sure how this is going to go down. You already got it. Hell, I mean, do I have to say Iraq is already in it? This is Iraq. But you got Afghanistan that's already in the area. You know what I mean? And Afghanistan is going to war. Pakistan, Obama, they like to say the Obama administration. You might be saying the Obama administration, the Bush administration, because the presidents don't be behind this shit. The presidents just be following orders. They're puppets. They're like what a lot of people refer to as birdcage lions. They're the ones who actually get defecated on by the cats up top. And when the people have had enough, you see what happened? They finally had enough of Bush. They just changed the birdcage liner in the cage and put a new birdcage liner. Someone that's gonna catch more shit. And who's the birdcage liner now? Obama. So the Obama administration has already got Pakistan up in the zone doing what? Aerial unmanned drone attacks in Pakistan, destabilizing Pakistan. Pakistan got nukes. Read on down.
Verse 13.
And
I saw three unclean spirits like frost come out of the mouth of the dragon.
Listen to this. The dragon is talking about the overall nation, the Edomite nation. I will prove it to you. Go ahead.
And out of the mouth of the beast.
The beast, literally. Let me say this. Let's come on over here. What relationship does the dragon have to the beast? Because in certain verses, or in certain verses within chapters in Revelation, it's talking about the spiritual demon Satan. And then in other verses, it'll say the dragon, and it's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's literally talking about the actual Edomite empire. The dragon of the Edomite empire are talking about the top family. Now, let me say this. It's talking about the top banking families. It's talking about the banking families, the royal houses that are considered to be the social, financial architects. In other words, these are the cats that do what? That determine. Now we all know that when it comes down to it, the hierarchy actually begins with the Most High. But we're talking about here on earth. If Esau is going to make a move into the Middle East, if they're going to go and attack a nation, who determines whether or not the American military, the German military, or whatever military is the aggressor? Who determines that? It's groups that are referred to, like the Bilderberg groups. When it says the dragon, is literally talking about that realm. The Club of Rome, Club of 300, trying to think of the CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations, the British counterpart, the Royal Institute of International Affairs. Those cats are considered, or those are collectively the dragon. They're the ones who what? When the American military rolled in 2003, why was it here on earth that the American military, along with the coalition, rolled on Iraq? It was because this group, who the Most High have given through the spiritual demon Satan the power to make their decisions, is because they decided it was time for that. Now, they would, when 9/11 took place, and they decided they wanted to go ahead and take a big step, a big aggressive move at changing the United States political face. You understand? Who was it that determined, okay, and gave the green light for the powers that be to go ahead and orchestrate 9/11, which single-handedly changed legislation and all type of, like I said, it for the most part changed the political structure of the face of America. You understand? It just got away with most of the Constitution, did away with a whole lot of things whatever you say, with advances on behalf of human rights since the Magna Carta in the 1200s. It was single-handed. 9/11 did that. Stripped, created legislation such as the Patriot Act. No, who was behind when 9/11 took place? And then 2 days later, they signed the Patriot Act. Who was it that orchestrated and got that Patriot Act together? Which was legislation on new laws and the new direction that they wanted to take America or Babylon into. In other words, that circle, that's the dragon that this verse is talking about. Because they're the ones who make the decision. The beast don't do nothing until the dragon tells it to. The relationship that the beast has to the dragon is the beast is the military force of the dragon. It's the American military, and more in its more expanded form, it is NATO, the North American Treaty Organization. That's the beast that this is talking about, modern day. You understand? But it's a military force, like you got Turkey. You got different countries that are a member of the EU and that also are NATO forces, but they don't serve. For instance, how can I put this? Does Turkey's objective get performed? Because Turkey is an Arab nation. Turkey is a Muslim country, a Muslim country. But they are, and they seem to be on their way out of NATO behind this issue with Israel and the flotilla. You know what I mean? The aid flotilla, the people that the Israelis shot up, that was under a Turkish flag. Aside from that, even though Turkey is a part of NATO, is Turkey's membership allowing it to perform its duties as a NATO member? No, it's part of a military entourage that performs the duty of whoever directs NATO. And NATO, the leading force of NATO is the United States, and the United States military is what? Is governed by the bankers. It's governed by the royal houses and banks of England. It's governed by the Rothschilds, the Warburgs, all those English and European finances. Or let's put it like this: the collective owners of all the world's central banks. That realm of people, you understand, with certain royal houses like the Blitz from the Netherlands, Beatrice, what's her name? Beatrice, right? The Netherlands, certain royal houses, you know what I'm saying, in England. That realm is referred to as the dragon. I'm going to show you something. It said he saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs. Read that again. What's called the other side?
Revelation chapter 16 and verse 13.
Right.
And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast,
and out of the mouth of the beast,
and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
Now, what do you call that but propaganda? It's going to tell you. It's going to tell you what the intention of it is. Because, in other words, who decides what gets released and put out? And what, for instance, I'm going to use 9/11 again. When 9/11 took place, who was it that decided that Arabs would take the fall? No, it wasn't the Americans. It was the people who orchestrated that event should take place. Now, why do I say that? Because the whole event is actually placed on a series of American currency. You know when we did the dollar bill thing? That was trying to show you. It shows in one series, I think it's the $5 bill shows the World Trade Center attack. Then you got the $10 bill that shows, after a plane hit, one of them smoking, one of them not. And then the third bill, it could be the $100 bill, I think, or the 50. You know what I mean? It's showing that only that both of the buildings are done crumbled. Yeah. You understand? And then the smoke is going up like the serpent, the snake of Hermes. Like the snake that's around the medical staff. Yeah. The point was, that's how you know who was behind it. Now, who prints the damn money? But the Federal Reserve. And what is the Federal Reserve to the United States but America's central bank? And what is America's central bank and Federal Reserve but one of many central banks that the international bankers own? They're all members. They're all or what do you call that? I would say member owners, but they all hold stock. They're all stockholders in these various central banks. These are the cats that determine what's going to take place and for what reason and what's going to be the cover story. So when it says propaganda, the spirit that came out of the mouth of the dragon, that's talking about the leaders hand down the orders. They probably, okay, what happened? Hussein got weapon of mass destruction. Who put that damn line out? Of course, you had the beast. Now, I said the beast, right? You got the American military, the chief of, I'm trying to think of the position that Colin Powell held. When he was doing this, telling this lie in the United Nations, he was actually the Secretary of State. But after only having been what? The chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff. That's what? That's the military force. That's the beast. You understand? The military power of this structure is referred to as the beast, and that beast is America and what? The American military along with its NATO allies. That's what it is. So the NATO allies are what? Lying. They're talking about what? Saddam Hussein's weapon of mass destruction program. They ain't found so much as a bullet. Remember a couple of years ago they found a big old attaché, a big old cache of weapons. They trying to bring Iran into it. They said they were financing and aiding and outfitting the Iraqi insurgents. So they just happened to conveniently find a big cache of weapons that said made in Iraq. In English, not in Farsi. What was that but propaganda? So you got the people that you got the realm of organizations and roundtables that make the decisions. But how do the decisions go from those that give the orders to those that carry the orders? It hits. What does it do? It hits the news as what? As propaganda. Remember, they was telling you during Daddy Bush, the first Bush's presidency, he was sitting there saying that Saddam Hussein enrolled into Kuwait, had attacked hospitals. He was taking babies out of incubators. That was all what? That was all propaganda. Tell me how they abused it. Let me see this. One of the reasons that they went in, they said Saddam Hussein gassed 300. It was either 300 or 3,000. I believe it was 3,000. Of his men, they said he gassed his own people. Well, fuck, how many have they gassed since? America, you know what I'm saying? How many have, if they went in to defend the honor of 3,000 people who were gassed in the northern region of Iraq, how many have they butchered and murdered in the millions since? We ain't gonna talk about the depleted uranium that got people being born with 2 heads. We got the signs of that. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. So when it says these 3 frog-like spirits that